this is pretty much what my next, who knows, 3 or 4 videos will be to complete this. All right, I've started on these UH2Cs, and I have the 1-72 over here next to me on a turntable, so I can kind of refer to it, as well as some references up on the computer, especially for those ones with the folded wings. But yeah, it is extremely tedious, as is all PE. I put those doors on, and like, that is the front windows, if you could see that, and I tried to put them on there, and they just, I don't know, I'm thinking the smoother one might actually look better at this scale. And then to put those wheels on, what I did is use my razor saw and kind of cut a notch in there, and then tried to fit them in there. And then those rear wings, I guess you would call them, or flaps. I cannot get them straight on both sides. This is going to be my 3rd try to put that one on. And then I've been looking at these decals, and because they're white, you know, they're so hard to see, but I think I see everything. The one thing I don't see is the numbers, like the 10 and 11 and 12. I'm trying to put a drop of super glue on here, but just a drop, and then place this thing. Close enough, I guess. So yeah, I think what I'll do is just go with a door on each side from this set, and then I actually like the wheels. They're easier to deal with from this set. You know, the rear wings are the same on both. These are a little more detailed on the rotor, so I'll go with, you know, obviously these for the folded ones. Now on the folded ones, what you do is you see this yellow here, those get folded back onto themselves. And then see how that looks, and then if I'm happy with that, then repeat it on the other 2. So while I'm waiting for those to dry on that side, I'm gonna start on the line. Now on these decals, so you recall I said I thought I needed decals here. I went out and looked at my references. I even looked at people who also built this kit. No one put those on, and I cannot find them on any of the EKAs in my GRS video. So I'm gonna leave those off. Same thing on here. I have gone back. I found 6 different planes without it, and I found only 2 with it. I'm leaving it off, that walkway. I mean, you can see there, it's just not there on many of them. So I'm going to leave it off. So the next thing I'm going to do is wire the 2 A3s while that dries, and then go back to that and do the other side. Okay, one down. So just touch the glue onto the end of it, stuck it in that crevice, and then I actually touched the rear wing with the zip kick. The zip kick is in there. Just touched the zip kick to that rear wing, and then touched the super glue to the end of the wire, and as soon as it touched, it stuck. Okay, and here's the other one. Okay, there's all 3 completed. So I'm gonna let those completely set up and dry fully, and then I'll hit them with the paint. And then I'll probably fold the rotors on 2 of them and leave the 3rd one, you know, with the rotors extended. Okay, here's those folded, so I'll fold those 2 and do that one. So I think I'm ready for paint. Okay, and I just used that Mr. Color Yellow on the tails there, if you can see that. And then did the tips of those rotors on all the rotors. All right, and then I used the white on the landing gear on these, if you can see that there. And then the silver in the center of these rotors. All right, so there's one side, and you can see there's a decal on the side of the engine, And then there's insignia, star insignia in the middle there. And then the same thing on this side. I don't think I can get those UPs on the back. I'll give it one shot, but that back area is so small. But that's looking pretty good. It does not have the numbers, so I don't know if I can make a 10 to go on that nose. Okay, so there's the decals, and yeah, they're on both sides. So I'll let that dry, and then I'll hit the nose and the wheels with the black. And then once I get that black on there, I was looking through all my decals, and yeah, this set has these super tiny numbers and letters, so I'm going to give those a try for the 10, 11, and 12 on the nose. All right, so now I just put the gloss black on the noses. Let's see if this will focus. Yeah, that's a gloss black. I'll let that dry. Okay, there's the 10 I just put on. I think it's too big. I think it looks better without it, so I'm going to take it off and just go with that. I just realized I forgot the rear rotors, so I'm going to do that now, but the other thing is, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Those two came out really good. They have all their parts and everything straight or straight-ish. But that one, the rear wing came off, the rear tail came off. I can't get those rotors to get on there straight. So I'm just gonna go with these two. 2 is plenty. And then on those rear tail rotors, the UH2C only has a 3-blade tail rotor, while the SH2 has a 4-blade, so I had to cut one of those blades off. And this kit actually came out nicer. I tried one out of here and then tried one here, and I think those look better. That one looks a little too spindly, so I'll go with those 2 and put them on. All right, there we go. Again, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I may throw that one down in the hangar deck back in there where you can barely see it. We'll see. But I'm pretty happy with these 2. All right, so temporarily I'm going to put them on the deck. That one that came out not so good is down there, but there's one on the deck and then that folded one in front of the island. So next I'm gonna take a break from the super small stuff and go back to wiring. I think I'll wire that next. So I went out and tried to find references on attachment points, and I could not find an E2A that was that the pictures were clear enough to actually tell. So this is actually an E2C. But at least it has, kind of tells me where things are connected. And I believe that's a D, but at least I can kind of see what's going on. I have to assume they did the same thing on the A. So these are the references that I have. Okay, so this disc comes off. Again, for transport reasons and stuff, it's just easier to be able to take this off, which also is going to make it much easier to wire. So I believe what's going on here is we're coming from here to these 2 attachment posts and then out to something attached underneath the wing, similar to what I did on the C1A Trader. It attaches underneath the wing. So I think what I'll do is make some little triangles similar, again, to what I did on C1A Trader, attach that underneath on each side, and then run the wires. And then on the side here, I know it's approximately like right there. So what I'm going to try to do is just touch that to there and then bring it back to there. So first thing is to make those 2 triangles for underneath there. Just styrene panel stock, made a rectangle and then cut that rectangle diagonally, and then lined them up and cut the tips off of those. So these are the pieces I'll use. All right, now I've scraped away the paint in those 2 spots, and so I'll attach those. All right, use the ultra thin on those. So I have those attached. Now I'm probably going to set this aside and let this fully solidify. All right, while I wait for those to fully dry and set up, then I'm going to work on the nose decals for the F4s. And I have these two sets, this, I believe it's called CTA, Cut Then Add, as well as this print scale set. This set is way more detailed, as you can see. So it has these sets here, 1, and it has a couple of different ones, and then 3, and I don't know if you can tell, but that's white lettering underneath that circle. Now I looked on here and there's no number 3 on there. So I think what they do is put, you know, everything on one set and then maybe put it out as different sets and different decals on different ones. So I believe this has everything I need. So you can see the dark ones there, and that beside that number 1 will go on the lighter nose, and then the number 3 with the white lettering will go on the dark nose. So I'm going to use those 4 decals right there. Okay, and before I put those on, I hit each spot with a little bit of pledge. Very lightly brushed it on, as well as on that nose over there. The white dot is just below the line. White dot is just below the line. Okay, I think those are good. On to the next one. All right, and there's the other one. And you can see I had touched up here and it's still shiny. So I'll probably just mask off over the canopy and then shoot that with the dull coat again to bring that all back to the same sheen on both planes. All right, so back to the E2A. Those pieces under there I believe are dry. So first step is from here to there, and then I'll let excess hang, you know, down here, and then same thing on this side here to there, and then let the excess hang down back to here, so I can cut those off after I stretch them. And then I'll touch, you know, one to there, let the excess hang off, flip this over, then, you know, flip it over, and then attach them to the bottom and cut them. So that's the game plan. One, I will cut that about there, which should give me plenty. All right. Okay, and now I will cut this one off about there. Get these two and then deal with that side. All right, there's one. All right, I've got those two. And then I think what I'm gonna do, just to kind of clean this up, so to speak, so that connection isn't so obvious, is just color this with the black marker. Make that look a little better. Same thing here. Like that. Yeah, that looks good. All right, now I'm going to, this is the tricky one, is to get that to just touch there and stay. So I'll cut another piece off. All right, it's good enough. It's not exactly perfect, but close enough. There we go. Bingo. All right, touch that with a little more glue. There we go. Done. Awesome. Okay, there we go. Put that back on. All right, there we go. So it goes from that center to those two back posts, back to there and there on that side, and then from just above that star back to there. I don't know, know if it's perfect. It's a little too close to the star actually, but close enough, and I'm not going to redo it. So, all right. Okay, now I've got this mask for the dull coat, and the other one's sitting over there. So I'll go do that now. All right, here's plane one with the dull coat. Looks pretty good. And there's plane two. Okay, so here's everything back on the shelf. There's that F-4 with the nose done. Here's the E2A with the wiring. And the other F-4 with the nose done. So next it'll be on to the vehicles and dealing with all the stuff on the ship. So again, I hope you found that interesting, and as always, thanks for watching and happy modeling.